So this heater here works. It's just that the fan on it doesn't cut on, so then the thing overheats. So I'm going to take it apart, see what's wrong with it, and go from there. So it looks like there's 4 screws, 1 in each corner. So we'll do that now, and then I'll be back when the screws are out. I was incorrect. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws. 4 there, 4 at the top. So we'll take this apart and see what's going on with it. I'll also take this filter out here and clean off this filter. But I don't think the filter is the issue. So, and, you know, obviously electrical warning, don't do this. You could get shocked, yeah. I'll be back when I have all these screws out. Okay, so there's all the screws. They're all out, as you can see out of the back of this. Now, it looks like this should just lift right up. So we're going to go ahead and try to do that. And we'll see what happens from there. I'm going to go ahead and lift it out. Okay, so it's not lifting out, as you can see. All the screws are out, so I'm going to try taking this off. If that doesn't work, there are wheels on the bottom of this, and I'm wondering if the screws are going up into the frame. So maybe taking these off as well to see if that works. But I'll try to take the wheels off first, see if that lifts up. Because I'm thinking that these are going up underneath. So I'll do that real quick, and then and as you can tell, they are just 4 screws per wheel. So come on, focus. Anyway, so it's just, they go in here just like this and take them right off. Yeah. Just like so. Upside and downside of the magnetic screwdriver is we got this one. Oh, the bigger one. That might have been a all the way up screw. Yeah, these are all smaller, so I'm wondering if it just have to take out the larger screw. Well, we'll take that one fully off. And yeah, see, it looks like, yep, the 1 screw. So I'm wondering if it's this one here on this one. If it's this one here on this side. That's the large screw. Maybe the inside ones. And if that's the case, then I'll just replace it. Yep, this is it. See, a larger screw. What I'll do is I'll take this one. How was this? Like that. Yeah. And I'll put these 3 back in. Because it doesn't look like these hold anything in. So I'll put these back so that the wheels and the screws don't get lost. Because I rather like the fact that this rolls. one of my favorite features of it is that I can move it around and I don't have to pick the damn thing up to do it. So, I'll go ahead and do this. There. And just remember, if nothing else, if I can't get this thing working, you can at least see what it looks like on the inside. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there's one screw, there's the other screw. And I'm willing to bet that this one is this screw right here. Right here, this one. I bet you that this is the long screw for this. Which would make the most sense. All the ones on the inside. Okay, there's that. And obviously then that will be this right here. Okay. So we got that done. Right now I wonder if this will lift out. It feels like something holding it in. What that would be, I wouldn't know. It's free on the bottom. Maybe I just have to get it with both hands. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. I had to grab it with both hands. Anyway, as you can see, this thing is just a metal shell. The whole way around. It doesn't matter which way you turn it. It's a giant metal casing. Everything. See, this is one big giant metal frame. So, put the cord out here. So what I'm thinking, make sure I don't lose any of my screws here. 2, 3, 4. Okay, put my way with this. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we take out these here. This one, this one, this one, and this one. And that should allow me to take this side off. Because it looks like that's that. There's also a bunch back here, but I'm thinking that's for the innard. So it might be these 4. Is there anything on top? There's 4 up top as well. So yeah, it looks like these side ones slide off, which allows access to something. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Take these off. I'll set these off to the side over here by themselves so that way they don't get mixed in with the case frames. They may be the same screws, and it looks like they are, but I don't want to take the chance that they are, or that they are different in some way. And here's just the frame, just a piece of wood. Screws down there. And the last one. On the side, and we'll see if this lifts up. It looks like this should just come right off. Looks like. Doesn't mean it will. Okay. Well, that did nothing, did it? And on the bottom, no, there's nothing here on the bottom. Look at that piece of wire. Take off these top ones then. Sorry, screw is still in the magnetic screwdriver. My apologies. Two. And so. And there we go. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'll be back. I'm going to go take all these screws out around here and see about getting this off. Once I get it to the point where I can get the case off, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So now this whole side here is off. I had to take every screw out of it. I don't know why. That looks like that should just lift it off to begin with, but whatever. Oh, okay. So now that I've taken it all out, this whole frame wants to come apart. That's fine. That's whatever. Okay, so this goes around. This back gonna come off. Looks like back will come off. Okay, that's the ground screw. That's what that is. Okay, so look in here. We got our things. This goes around to the front control panel. Look in here. We got these here. That's connected to this. And that. So I'm looking here. So it's red, then yellow. Then the double black. Here. So I'm assuming that that's going to be important. And it looks like coming off of this whole chain. It comes around. There's it grounded here. So I'm assuming maybe this is the ground for the fan. Because these look like they go to the elements. Because there's an element here, and then thing up top that reflects. So it might go to that. This obviously goes to the control board. This goes out to the main power. The white one. There's a power switch, which is in the black one. So we'll trace some of this stuff around. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is disconnect this front section right here off of the board. Off of here, right here. It's this wire right here. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we got the other side off, which is it's up very similar to that one. There's the other element sections. And we go into here. And I'll turn the light on here so we can see. inside. So we go in here, and right there is a front connector to the control board. It's right there. It looks like that's just a wobble loose one. That goes to here, so we'll just go ahead and disconnect. Actually, do I even have to do that? The fan seems like it's being fine. There's the fan. The fan seems to be the issue. Oh, the whole damn kit and caboodle. That cord is loose. I'm wondering if that right here, see how loose this is? I'm wondering if that's my issue. Let me take his fan off and see. I'll turn the light off. That way, then it's not as bright on the metal casing. I just had it on while I was looking at the board, but I may not have to look at the board. Looks like this fan here might be okay, which then brings us to another, what is it, type deal. I'll take this fan off. And if I have to, I'll desolder it. I'll go get my soldering gun and we'll desolder everything, and then we'll go from there. Okay, well, there's the fan. And I see fan to me. That appears to work. So then what's the error? We're getting an E1 error. So I may have to research this. Yeah, see that fan's not pulled out because look how that is. That's hooked around. That's dirty as all heck. I'll probably clean it. But it doesn't look like, and I don't see anything burn out on this side of the motherboard. Unless there's something on the back side of it. I don't know what, if anything's on the back of this board. It looks like power goes in here. It comes in. Come in on the board. That one right there. There's black and white one right there. White one here, black one here. Okay. Here's the M1. And it's the L. Yeah, those look like those two. Looks like these two are these. No. That's these two. Okay, these two are these two back here. I gotcha. These two back here are to this black section here. There's one of these two white wires are these. Red and orange or yellow is up here. Okay, next to these, they look like CMOSes, I guess, maybe. Heat high, heat low. Okay. And I'm assuming that some models has a third, because there's a connector here that there's nothing on. So my model may not have that. Same way with it right here on the motherboard, there's a spot to put in another connector. Focus is in, there it is. Put in another connector that mine doesn't have. So I'm assuming there's an upgraded model to this, and I don't have it. But yeah, so there you go. There's the motherboard. That's how that works. So let me clean off this fan. This is going to be me cleaning everything off. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to check out the bushings on this thing. It looks like everything is fine here, but it does look, if you look down in there, it looks like there's a screw loose on the fan itself. So I don't know. Maybe that's an issue, maybe not. I'll take a gander at it and see. Looks like it's a wound coil fan. Doesn't look like a normal fan. I don't know. I'll clean it off and see. I'll be back. Okay, so I cleaned it off. No, not greatly, but cleaned out the inside of it. And yeah, it doesn't look like it's much of anything. There's a couple capacitors right here on it. Or down this side. No, this side is just one coil. If you look in there tightly, you can see them. I don't know how to get this top off. So if one of those capacitors went bad, I wouldn't know how to change it out. I'd just have to replace the fan, which is whatever. But I'm half tempted to plug it in, turn it on, see if the fan works. But we're not going to do that. And I hope none of these are missing, because my cat was over here milling around, and she likes to move things every place. So I'm hoping, okay, there's the port to the fan. Okay, I was going to say, I'm hoping she didn't move anything out of the way. But it doesn't look like that was an issue. So I'm going to put these 4... this way? Doesn't seem right. Hold on for a second. Okay, so the weird part is I can see from building computers, I know this. This is in a blowout fashion. So it's blowing out, hitting the back of this case, coming out through this filter. It looks like the overheating air part. So I'm wondering if part of the problem is something to do with the casing of the frame itself, with something touching somewhere that shouldn't be touching, and things like that, of that nature. But we'll see. I'm gonna put the everything back on, and I'll set it up. Put the back on here, because it doesn't look like the sides really need to be connected all that much. We'll turn it on. We'll see what happens. See if the fan works and everything, and we'll go from there. I'll be right back. So I put a screw in each corner, so that way then there's one in each of the 4 corners here. So that way then it just holds this back on. It's not together, right? It's enough for me to take this cord. Now I need to be able to see the fan to see if there's an issue with the fan. So this filter here covers up the fan. This unscrews. So what I'm going to do is I'll take this filter off, and then we should be able to look at the fan as it's spinning. And this filter could wind up even being the issue. It could be clogged up here and not allowing airflow, which then cuts the fan off. That's also a possibility as well. So what I'll do is, there's 2 screws here. There's one here and one here, and it looks like it just releases the fan. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take out these screws. Nice close up there, the warning. these screws here. Oh. So these are a little larger, aren't they? Yeah, these are different. These are different screws. So I'm gonna set these over here on here because they're different ones than the other ones are. I don't get them mixed in with everybody else. I'll take this screw out too. Yeah, this filter is pretty nasty. I see that now that. And see, that just came right off. And look at this filter. So, and as you can see, now we can see the fan. So if the fan turns or not, we'll be able to, It's kind of weird. 2 zip ties there. Oh, that's the here. Yeah, that's the ground. Okay, never mind. I know exactly what that is. Okay, so we got this all here. So I'll plug this thing back in and we'll see what happens. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I have it plugged in, and never, ever do this. It's open. I shouldn't even be turning this on, but I want to see what's going on with this. So if it's at the 72, everything fires up. The fan moving. Fan is not yet moving. As you can hear, fan is turning. Looks like it's hitting something. We've got the 2 coils in there heating up just fine. Without any issue. Now watch, now it'll be fine. I am thinking it may be something to do with the case. That is part of the problem that I'm having. Wait a minute, it sounds like the fan's dying out. No. Or is it just selling? No, the fan's still spinning. Might just be selling. Yeah, the fan's spinning pretty good. And there is heat coming out of here. Fan is on high. I bumped something and scared me there for a second. It all appears to be working. It's all cold here, which is fine. That's all good. I'm looking to see if I see any issues anywhere else with anything. Fan's still spinning. Not getting any error codes at all. I think I might have fixed it. I think maybe the fan was just mispositioned or it just needed cleaned out. Might have just needed cleaned because I'm not seeing any other electrical issues. As you can see, both of those heating elements down there, if you can see them, there's one, there's the other one. They're both glowing fine without any problems whatsoever. So I think that might have fixed the problem. So let me turn this off. And I'll turn off power. Shut it completely down. And it should still be. Oh no, man, that fan stopped instantly. Dang. As soon as we cut the power, that fan stopped. So that tells me it's either there's a case problem, which is not really likely, or there's It's the filter that's clogging this up, which means I need to clean the filter, which is not an issue. Well, hold on for a minute. Okay, so the issue I ran into is I discovered after I put the whole thing together and it didn't fit. You have to put these 4 screws in on the top first that hold this whole unit here in place. It makes everything line up here, which I have to put these screws back in. And as you can see, all the holes here are 99% aligned. This one's a little off, but there's not much really I'm going to be able to do about that. That one's there. These are all... Oh, I must have left one in by accident. Huh. Okay. Because that's why it didn't fully come apart. But anyway. It didn't matter because I didn't need to get to the front anyway. So, yeah. That's how that works. So these here are, this is all just screw in here. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this front part on before I put the, go ahead and all these little spots here before I put the sides on. That way then this whole unit is all, this here is entirely connected to the frame. And then I'll put them in on the bottom, and then I'll put the side cases back on. Okay, so we're coming across the old computer case issue here of with these tabs where the thing has to go in. These tips, these 6 tips, have to go into these slots. The computer case issue is you can always get 5 of them to line up, and there's always that one that doesn't want to stick in. And I'm glad on new cases they got away from this design, and there's 4 screws on the corners and then maybe something on the end, maybe. But the problem with this design is and you can kind of see it here a little bit, some of these get bent because they're not anything but sheet metal, and they can easily bend. And if they're bent, they don't fit in here correctly. And that is the issue I'm running into right now. So, we'll see what we can do. I think I know how to get around this. I've dealt with this stuff enough. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it all hooked in here. And as you can see, if it focuses. Come on, focus in. You can see the 4 screw holes here are lined up. That thing really just does not want to focus, does it? There we go. And focus that time. Yeah, so you can see the 4 holes here. Come focus. 4 holes anyway are all lined up. So I'm going to just put screw in there like that. Maybe once it has a larger object. Yeah, let's see, once there's a larger, come back in a little bit more. There's those. Sorry, cat hair here. I have a cat. What do you want? In fact, she's around here someplace. Daisy. Meow. Anyway, so one down here in the bottom. Oh. This here, there, and there. Now, about 2 years ago, I saw the inside of one of these quite a while back, and the elements were burnt out on them. This one was just strictly a fan issue. I could hear the fan acting up, and it was struggling and everything else. So I don't know if it was just clogged up, and when I cleaned it off, it fixed the issue, when I cleaned it out, or if it was not connected correctly, or it was touching something, or what. But I'm thinking it might have been a filter. Might still be a filter issue. I haven't cleaned the filter yet. So I'm going to clean the side of that off, and I'm going to clean the filter. I'm going to have the same thing here with this. You can see it better on this side. There's 3 on each side. Right? And they go on to those tabs. And this tab looks, this side looks a lot better. Doesn't look like it's bent or anything. So I'll be right back. Okay, finishing up the last of this, putting these last screws in here. I already put 2 in. This is the last one in this corner. I had a heck of a time getting this side on. Again, it's the old computer case side panel issues. That if they're even bent slightly, won't fit into the casing correctly. Okay, so everything is back together here, minus the filter that goes here, which, I need to clean the filter yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in, I'm going to turn it on, I'm going to try it. And we're going to see if it goes into that error or not. If it doesn't go into the error, then that it is most likely going to be a filter issue, which is, if you look at the filter itself, that is fairly a dirty filter. I mean, it's not super, super dirty. I mean, you can see through it. But that's enough to block a little bit of airflow. Now, most people will wash this off, and you don't want to do that. You want to take a brush and brush this. Because if you brush this, it'll get in between the thing, and you don't have to wait for it to dry. So I'm going to take a brush here and brush that off. I'll show you how that's done in a minute. Okay, as we can see, it is started up. Yeah, the fan running. I can already feel the air circulating out through here before the heater even came on, so I know the fan's working. Normally it would have went to the air by now. I can feel the air coming out of here. Actually pretty solid too. And that is some airflow coming out of here. So I'm thinking that filter was the issue. And this can go back into the regular case without the filter on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll go take care of the filter and I'll show you how that's done. And then we'll put the filter back on, and I'll let it run for 5 or 10 minutes, and we'll see if the problem persists. But it's been on for a little while, and it would have already normally have gone into that error stage at this point. Normally it's runs for like a minute at the most, and it went into the error. So at this point, I think we've averted the error stage. The error will come up down here where it says the temperature, and it'll say E1. And as you can see, the temperature is still up, everything's still running. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off there, and we'll look in the back and see if the fan's still going. The fan is still running. So I'm gonna let it shut fully off, and while that's doing that, I'm gonna go clean this. I'm going to show you how to do this. That way then, I'll be right back with my brush and we'll clean this. Okay, I'm back. So I got this little brush. It's just one that came out of like a shaving kit. It's all that it is. So you just take it and you'll do one of these with it. As you can see the dust flying right off of there. And you can also see the difference already. So that's how you do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this whole thing. And yeah, you can see the screwdriver difference. Look at that versus that. Gotta be right back. And here it is. Look at this. Look how nice and clear that is now. It's almost like I bought a new one. Almost. Not quite. There's a little tiny bit left on there, but not hardly anything at all. As a matter of fact, if I really spent hours and hours on this, I could get this thing nice and clean. Well, or if I had a better brush, that could also help. But as we've seen, there was no error from before, and it's still plugged in. Right? There's no error from before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the filter on right now, and then we're going to test it again. Because I do not foresee the wooden case that's just sitting over there having any bearing on this at all, outside of some kind of an airflow issue, but all the air is coming out of the back or out of the front, and the case isn't blocking either of those. So we put this filter on. I'll show you how this is done. Well, wouldn't it put this right here like this? So this is this piece, and this just sets in like this. I think it's this way. I don't think it really matters. And then if you look down here, there's two grooves right there. And it just goes up. And that's it. And there's two screws to hold it on. So I'm going to put those screws in. And then we'll go from there. Carpenter's sheet there. You have a screw hole and a screw hole, and you're trying to line something up like this. Look through, slide through the one hole, and try to line it up with the other one. And then this one should theoretically be this time it's the person using the screw and not the screw. There we go. Okay, so that's there. And that's there. Okay. Moment of truth. Turn her on. Can already feel the air here coming out before this comes on. Feel the air back here flowing freely. So yeah, this is really coming out. This is coming through perfect almost. It's almost like there isn't a filter at all. So I'm thinking that this was the issue, because I checked this before I took it apart and there was almost no airflow at all. And now there's airflow. And that filter wasn't that bad. It wasn't like that was, a Q-tip I used to clean the fan, see? Anyway, it wasn't that bad. So that looks like that might be it. So I'm going to come back when everything else is reassembled. We'll see it back in the case. We'll see it working. And that'll be it then. Okay, I'm back for the final test here. Everything's back in the case. It's all back together like it should be. Turn it on. May not be cold enough in the room right now. Yeah, it's not doing anything, so we'll turn it up. There we go. Up to 80. I know it's not 80 in here. It's not going to stay at 80. And then I can feel it blowing here. On the back. Still just that. I need to clean the front of this off. I see that now on camera, but that's okay. I'll do that here in a little bit. That's just a wet wipe. That's nothing major. Okay. And there it is. This is all blowing here. There's no issues here. It's blowing nice and steadily out the back here. Wish I had something to put here to show you the airflow. But you can see mass airflow coming out of here. So, I don't know. But apparently that was the issue. Everything seems to be working fine. I'll be right back. I'm going to clean this up and then we'll end this. Okay, so we're back. And as you can now see, well, maybe not. I was going to say that it's clean, but I guess it's not really, huh? Well, we'll take these wipes here. And I'll clean. As you can see, look how much crap came off of here on this wipe. I may have needed a second. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a job. But I may need a second one. It looks like they might have gotten it. Spot right there. I'm just wondering if that's a wood thing. Sometimes wood looks like it's got stuff on when it doesn't. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. Like, see, I'm wiping that one comes off. So that's dirt. That's dirt there as well. Looks like the cat might got sick. But anyway, yeah, so it looks a lot better than it did. Turn it on. You can hear it still works. Finish cleaning this off down here. I can feel the air blowing this way. Right where I'm at now, I can feel the air actually. As far back from it. And yeah, so it appears to be working. So apparently it was a blocked up filter on the heater in the back that was choking out the fan. And that appears to be the extent of the issue with this. Yeah. So, everybody have a good day, and thank you for your time. Bye.